Welcome to the Rewrite Your Story with Tasha Joe podcast, where we fearlessly dive into the vast realm of thoughts, ideas, and conversations that know no bounds. Buckle up and prepare for a wild ride as we venture into uncharted territories and explore the unexplored. On this journey, we leave no stone unturned and no topic untouched. From the profound to the absurd, from the mundane to the extraordinary, we delve into the depths of human curiosity and embrace the sheer unpredictability of life. This is the podcast where anything and everything takes center stage. Each episode is a thrilling adventure into the unknown as we bring you fascinating discussions, captivating stories, and mind-bending perspectives as we embark on a quest for knowledge, enlightenment, and endless entertainment. Expect the unexpected, for here there are no boundaries and no limitations. Open your mind, expand your horizons, and get ready to be captivated by the infinite possibilities that await. So whether you're a seeker of knowledge, a lover of stories, or simply someone who craves the thrill of the unknown, this podcast is tailor-made just for you. Tune in, fasten your seatbelt, and prepare for a roller coaster ride through the vast expanse of human curiosity. Get ready to be amazed, enlightened, and entertained, because on this podcast, there's only one rule. There are no rules. Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome back. On today's episode, we have a special guest, Derek. Oh gosh, what's your last name again?
It's I don't know how to pronounce it either. I'm going to take a good shot at it. It's called Gusoskey.
Gusoskey.
Yeah, Gusoskey.
Okay, and he is the co-owner of Kavacado, and we are bringing him in to tell you all what Kava is. And yeah, so Derek.
Well, thank you. My wife is my co-owner. She's actually the boss. So, we're doing a video on this one too, so she'll be able to see that. But what is Kavacado? Kavacado is a tea house that our primary product is tea, but we are featuring a very special root called Kava or Kavacado. It's been used ceremonially in the islands, South Pacific Islands, specifically Fiji, Tonga, Samoa. Hawaii has a big presence with it now because there's a lot of islanders that use Kava from different portions that settle in Hawaii.
Okay.
And what it does is it has a relaxing effect. So they grind this root. The Kava plant, actually, let me just digress here. The Kava plant is actually from the pepper family. And so the root is what they grind up into a powder, and then you use a cheesecloth and water, you knead it into a tea.
Interesting.
And then the tea portion is what you drink. And the effects are very calming. So your initial drinking of it, your tongue goes numb.
Yeah, I love that part.
Yeah, it's really cool, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, about 10, 15 minutes, especially if you drink it on an empty stomach, which I highly recommend, you'll start feeling the relaxing effects, almost like
It's pretty instant.
yeah. So they call it nature's Xanax.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
So if you're a person that suffers from anxiety, somebody, just day-to-day grind, right? And so what we decided to do, among others, that we got this idea from other people, but here in the state of Washington, all of the Kava bars are actually over in Seattle. So we're the only Kava bar or tea house that features
Over here.
Kava over here in the Kitsap
Awesome.
community, this side of the water. And what we're trying to do is create a mocktail environment instead of a cocktail. We're trying to be an alcohol alternative. So the cognitive effects of Kava actually kind of give you the relaxation if you drank a beer, maybe two,
Yeah.
but nothing more. It's
Yeah.
not like you get drunk off of it. You just get that relaxed, like that initial woosah, a glass of wine, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, oh man.
And
I
you
feel-
can't drink too much of it.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I've tried. I
Yeah.
really have. And the only thing that I get is a little bit of, let's just say it cleans you out. I don't
yeah.
want to be too gross to the audience or anything like that. But because it does come from the pepper family, and pepper is actually known to be a laxative. So it can have that effect. But specifically, it's really been a great thing for me because I'm a creature of habit, just like
Yeah.
most of us. So when my typical day, when I would get home, I'd like to crack a beer or a White Claw. Well, that ended up me diving down a rabbit hole of drinking a little bit heavier. I started bringing my work home with me. I started thinking about things too much. And, our mainstream go-to when you're having a bad day, what do? You crack a beer, you
Yep.
drink alcohol, right? Well, then that takes you away from being present. That takes you away from your other responsibilities. And me, I like to twist the throttle a little bit.
Yeah.
So then I don't want to just have a drink. I don't leave it at
That's me
that.
too. Once you
Right.
start, you just, don't know how to
It's
stop.
like Lay's potato chips,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, right?
But you don't wake up with a hangover from
Yep.
Lay's. But the next day, now, I'm not functioning as highly as I usually
Not as
do.
productive.
Not as productive. It
Mhm.
takes you. I like physical fitness, so my gym production isn't as good. And, you combine that over a long period of time and just the negative side effects to your body,
Mhm.
the extra calories that you're taking in when you drink alcohol. I know I'm not here to poo-poo on alcohol. This isn't me being judgmental, anything,
Yeah.
right? This is just me saying that I found an alternative
That's healthy.
that's healthy.
Mhm.
And I've actually been clean from alcohol or not, or at least sober. This is day 32. I haven't had
Wow.
a
Good
drop.
job. Yeah.
And just drinking Kava and replacing one habit with another. And I really enjoy it.
Mhm.
And that's another thing. So Kava deepens your sleep, whereas alcohol kind of
Oh, yeah.
doesn't, right? Like you ever know, they call it anxiety. Have you heard? So
Mhm.
like you wake up after having a heavy night drinking, and you wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning, and then you just like, my brain just turns on and goes, hey, let's think about all the things you ever messed
Yep.
up in your whole life from still like
Yep.
10 years old that you can't do anything about. And then you just worry about it all night long instead of getting good restorative
So
sleep.
you get really good sleep drinking.
Deepens your sleep.
Okay.
So that's I mean, if you follow any of the neuroscientists or anybody, they'll tell you that sleep is equally as important
Mm.
as proper nutrition or
Yeah.
working out or whatever, right? Sleep is, you have to have it.
Yep.
And the better and the deeper sleep you can get, man, your body recovers so much. It helps you heal.
Yeah.
So I'm just really 100% sold on Kava, and I really want to bring this to the community. Our community locally, specifically, we're surrounded by a shipyard. We have a lot of sailors.
Mhm.
Alcohol is intrinsic into that culture. What we want to do is kind of remove the idea that, your only escape is going to a bar at the end of the
Mhm.
night or whatever. Like you can still be social with Kava
There's
better.
so many people who are looking for that around here, to go to
Right.
a place and hang out where it's not the bar. There's like
Right.
nowhere. So we're like, okay, let's, bring it here to Mystic Movement. Yeah.
And so having a tea house featuring kava and other teas, there's other things that we would like to share with people that also have uplifting effects, good health benefits.
That are healthy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that can give you, the consumer, a safe place to go without maybe in a negative
Yeah.
environment of, say, drunk people. I mean,
Mhm.
let's just say when you and your significant other want to go out on a date,
Yeah.
right? Say you just want to go to dinner and a movie, but movie hasn't quite started,
Yeah.
you're not quite hungry. Usually people say, "Hey, let's go get a drink before we start," right?
Mhm.
Well, what if you're like, "Man, I really don't want to drink. I got to work tomorrow, this and that." What about going to Kavacado? You have a
Yeah.
couple of kavas, you relax, you hang out, you get that cool, calming, relaxing effect. Then you
Mhm.
go about your evening
Yep.
relaxed, and then you still don't have that negative. So I noticed because I'll go off and on with drinking alcohol. Like I'll do it, and then I'm like, "Oh my
Me
God, I
too.
don't want
I'm
to
on
do."
day 27 right now of no drinking. Yeah.
Congratulations,
Thanks.
right? That's awesome, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
maybe we're gonna have to get you some more kava. We'll get some
Yes,
kava
I
on
know.
top. Yeah.
Yes, I know. Because
You
people have been
know,
asking, when do you have it? When are you serving it? So that's why, wanted to bring you on and let people know just what it is we're offering, when, all the things.
so right now we are finishing the final stages of our permitting to be passed like a couple of days a month. So our initial intention is make sure that it's staffed at least a couple of days a week. We're
Mhm.
thinking around anywhere from like Thursday to Saturday from the afternoon from about 3 to 6.
That's perfect. Because right
Right.
now it's only the first Friday of every month from 5
First
PM to 9 PM.
from 5 PM to 9 PM, and
Mhm.
that's when we also feature the tacos as
Yes.
well. But what we wanna do is specifically be selling tea and kava
Mhm.
and other products, and maybe we can have eats or something that we can
Oh,
bring that
yeah.
in later, but the tacos are such a
Oh, a huge hit.
huge
Everyone
hit,
loves them.
but it's a lot of preparation, and so
Mhm.
we gotta reserve those for special occasions and keep that our catering business separate from that. We just use it to encourage
Yeah.
people to come try kava, which has been successful.
Oh, yeah, we've only done it twice now, so next Friday will be the 3rd time.
Right, and
Yeah.
and so now just to the audience, I wanna let them know, "Hey, dude, we're gonna be outside this time instead of inside, so you're gonna be smelling my tacos from about a mile
Mhm.
away. It's gonna bring you in, and I'm not gonna let you eat 'em until you try some kava, That's the rule because
Yeah.
I want everybody or as many people as possible to try Kava. I think once people try it and they really do see what it is and actually go through the experience and what the entire process where you toast
Mhm.
it and there's a
Yep.
magic word that you have to say.
Are
And
we telling them the
should we
magic
should
word?
we wait or should
Yeah,
we?
let's wait.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
wait.
yeah,
Yeah, you got to know the magic word, and
when
it's
you drink it. Yeah.
yeah, and it's an islander tradition. That's where we learned it from and what the true meaning is behind it. And it's such a cool thing. So when you get
Mhm.
here, we'll give you the magic word and go from there. And but yeah, that's what Kavacado is about.
So where does it come from?
So there's different strands. I hope I'm saying this right for my islander listeners and customers. The Fijian strand is Vanatu.
Okay.
So that's the one that we're actually going to be featuring this Friday. We're trying to do a different strand every time we
Oh,
open it up.
okay.
The last strand that we did was Tongan. It was a Tongan strand, and I don't remember the actual name of it, but it came from the island of Tonga. And the one that we had last one actually makes you a little more sleepy, more relaxed. This one is supposed to be more of a, it relaxes your body but wakes up your mind.
Okay.
It's kind of a
Okay.
cool, like, teeter
Yeah.
totter.
Oh, I love kava. That's why I'm like, we need to do a podcast episode. And when we are very passionate about something, we just want to spread it and tell everybody because how much it's changed our lives. And I've
Yes.
only drank it the couple times and I've messaged Derek and Joni just like, hey, I want some kava. Like, let's get this going because I
And then
love
we,
it.
like, we drop it down for you so you
Yeah.
can pick it up because we whatever, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I enjoy that too because, that means that your body is actually talking to you, right? And
Yeah.
I think there's a spiritual connection, and if you ask any of the islanders, they'll agree with me 1,000% that your
Hmm.
body's telling you, "Hey, I
Our
need this
bodies are
thing."
always speaking to us. If you slow down and pay attention, just anytime you eat food, like my body rejects dairy. Like my stomach will start like yelling at me, and our bodies are always communicating with us. It's just taking the time to listen.
I wonder if you do you ever travel abroad?
Yeah, I just went to Bali a couple months ago.
Huh. Have
Hmm.
you ever tried dairy from another country?
No.
See, I'm curious
Mm.
because I think American, and I'm not bashing
Yeah.
anything here, but I think American dairy,
Oh, it's so bad for you.
right, because of the homogenizing process. If you
Hmm.
go to England, they won't even allow our milk into their country.
I bet.
And as a backlash, now you can't even get French cheese in our country because everybody refuses to homogenize it. So
Yeah.
we're like, well, you need to homogenize it. We're like, they're like, we've been a country for like, I don't know,
Yeah.
3 billion jillion years, and our cheese is way better. We don't need to sell you our cheese. Everybody else likes it. Right?
Huh.
But they don't get sick. And I've met so many people along the way that when they go to England or when they go to France and they drink their milk, even though they
Hmm.
have a dairy allergy here, no allergies
Interesting. I'm
because
gonna
it's
have
a
to do some
process.
research and yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they pasteurize it to get the bacteria out of it, but they don't boil it and they don't do all the other stuff to ruin the cultures or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they don't add all
Everything
the
is
extra
like almost
sugars.
everything is bad for you.
Yeah, it's like, there's a great movie we just read or watched on Amazon Prime. So if anybody has Amazon Prime, it's free. It's called The Magic Pill. It's amazing. It's an
Magic
amazing.
Pill. Is that an older one? I think
No,
it's new.
22, 23. So it's not
Really?
that old. Yeah.
Okay. I don't
Yeah.
know if I've seen that one yet. Huh. I love documentaries. I'm a
Right.
knowledge junkie.
Me
Like,
too.
just give me all the information.
Well, it comes down to basically when you see the adaptation of other cultures, when Western culture, in kind of intrudes into native populations, say Aboriginal
Hmm.
populations or Native Americans or indigenous people here in the United States, um, you can see what our food has done to their culture. There's
Hmm.
in the Magic Pill, they talk about the Plains Indians. I forget what tribe it is, so please forgive me, audience, but their skeletons that were found, through history in the Plains Indians were the largest and tallest skeletons on the planet.
Wow.
And they thought it was a lost race, but that was actually the Native Americans that were eating nothing but buffalo and bison, and their diet was just
Hmm.
pure off the land. And so they had nothing interrupting their growth process or anything like that. And the meat sources of bison's a very good nutritional meat.
Hmm.
And anyhow, within like 3 generations, because when we pushed them into, I will say, concentration camps, the
Hmm.
reservations, We gave them flour, we gave them oil, we gave them sugar and yeast. And then what are you going to do with that?
Yeah.
You're going from eating nutritious bison to garbage.
Yeah.
And within 2, 3 generations, diabetes, heart disease, all these other things, right? Not
Mhm.
trying to pummel down the rabbit
Oh,
hole
yeah,
here,
we could
but
talk about all the
yeah.
things.
So
We do that a lot on these episodes. We get sidetracked and we're like, "Oh, no, we're getting off
yeah, I thought we were
the"
talking about kava. No, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, so
But it
like
all is related because,
health and wellness. Yeah,
alcohol is poison. You're poisoning your body. And hey, we drink, take breaks and
hmm
whatnot, but we're always bettering ourselves trying to find an alternative, something that's healthier because alcohol is a lower vibration it's just lowering your vibration.
I agree. And
Hmm.
there's a great book called Outwitting the Devil by
Oh my God, I love that book.
have you read it?
Yes,
Okay,
I
I
love
just did
it.
the audio, but the
Me
audio's
too.
crazy. Oh, that
Chapter
voice
3, when he starts bringing in the devil
yeah,
oh
to
my
put him on
gosh,
the
I
stand.
recommend that book to
It's cra
everybody. It's
you
so
realize
good.
you know that book was written back in
Yeah,
1937, and it was
and his
so
wife didn't want him to publish it, right, or
yes.
something?
So his wife made a deal because I think Napoleon Hill was actually I don't know what happened, but he's getting ready. So she made a deal with the publishing company because it was so controversial for the
Mhm.
time because they were getting ready to go into World War II and all kinds of stuff. And it was so controversial that the last living member of the Hill family had to pass away
Oh,
before
yeah,
they
before
released it.
they yep.
The last living member passed away in 2011, and
Mhm.
that's when they released it. And I just got word of it like about, I don't know, a few months ago
Okay,
and
have you
listened.
finished it?
I finished it.
I've listened to
Crazy.
it twice,
Yeah,
and
me
I
too.
recommend it. I always tell
The
people,
voice
go
of
to
the devil.
chapter
Oh,
3.
yeah, yeah.
So good. Pretty much
Talking about
explains
drifting. Yeah.
yeah, and explains, like, heaven and this is a whole whole 'nother topic, so we won't go too much into it, but, heaven and hell, it's all vibrations. Anybody can access either. It's yeah, I'm not even gonna because I could go on about
Me
this
too.
topic, but
Yeah, but please, audience, listen to it,
yes.
and it's free. You can just listen to it on YouTube and get
Mhm.
the information. The voice of the devil is astounding.
Yeah.
It's got this baritone and this really cocky kind of
Mhm.
arrogance about it, which you would expect from a
I
devil.
really enjoyed listening
Me
to it.
too.
So good.
Because he puts the devil on the stand and the work that I do for my career, does a lot of labor law and arbitration and things of that nature. And so I'm already all in on that type of work
Mhm.
anyway. So listening to that, but when the devil speaks about drifting and what his tools are to get mankind to drift, to
Mhm.
get us away from our higher selves,
Yep.
what we're meant to be, alcohol,
Yep.
drugs, food,
Cigarette.
sex, cigarettes,
Yeah.
anything that takes you away from who what you're meant to be because your concentration stays focused on a lower
Yep.
level. And I noticed my pattern, I would come home, I would drink, and then I was kind of useless for the rest of the
Mhm.
night because I was in an impaired state.
Yep.
Yes, I was conversation, but asked me to remember what I said the night before, asked me to be present, you know what I mean? Any
Mhm.
of those things. And then at one point or another, I just had to say enough is enough.
Yep.
And it's never your wife can tell you or whatever till she's blue in the face, but you, the individual that's going through that, whatever it is, has to make the decision.
Yeah.
My success is dependent on my sobriety. Right?
Nobody's ever gonna save you but yourself.
Correct,
Yeah.
right? Like if I really want to see success at the level that I'm looking to do, which is my true version of success is to be a blessing to others, right? Like,
Mhm.
and I forget who I had this conversation with, but I've been talking to a lot of accountants and things as we're
Mhm.
trying to expand our businesses. And just the way the tax laws are written and how things are, and just playing a little chess here. My thought process is you only have to really make about $250,000 to really live a millionaire's lifestyle.
Mm.
You're gonna have the nice house, you're gonna have the cool cars, you're
Yeah.
gonna go out to dinner, you go on the vacations,
Yep.
right? But if you really want to be able to bless others, to impact your community, to really give back, to be
Mhm.
able to when I say bless others, create job
Yeah.
opportunities, open things up, you got to make millions, right? Because the
Mhm.
taxes are structured,
Oh,
right? To like,
okay.
you know what I mean? Once you start
Mhm.
making past that 250,000, you're paying a lot in taxes. So you got to overwhelm all that with income. So our
Yep.
goal is to be a community blessing, to be a benchmark in this community, to be able to give back, to be able to create opportunities for
Mhm.
others, to be able to help and heal this community because this community is really hurting right now.
Yeah.
Our homeless population is at an all-time high. Our drug addiction is at an all-time high.
Mhm.
People are depressed. The shipyard right now is battling for pay raises that we haven't gotten in like 6 years,
Yeah.
right? So,
Mhm.
like, you're watching this entire community just almost tear itself apart because the cost of living to live here is so high
Mhm.
and the wages haven't competed. But as a portion of that, it's because of the uncomfortability that's put us in this position to
Yeah.
be able to actually be having this conversation. Kavacado would have never
Yeah.
been spawned. It would have just been an idea on a couch. Oh, you know what we should do is we should open a
So many people talk about it, but
right.
very few follow through with it.
And so that's kind of what our process. I mean, if it wasn't for my buddy, shout out to Steve and Mandy at the scrapyard, Street Beefs. If it wasn't for them walking into their dream, we would have never been able to walk into ours, right?
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
a few months back, and we joke about this, my buddy Steve, who I worked with for years as a welder, he's an okay welder. I always tell him that. Anyways, he was in the apprenticeship class ahead of mine. And so we were real good buddies, worked on a lot of crews together. And Steve, you know his story, and I won't divulge too much into it, but he retired from the shipyard doing his dream of,
Mhm.
kind of hosting fights and
Oh,
really
yeah.
helping the community with street beefs and the scrapyard and giving back. And they needed a vendor. And I had done
Oh,
vending
okay.
things in the past, and I knew nothing really about like catering or anything.
Just gotta go for it.
But I was like, I'll do it,
Yeah.
And man, if you'd have seen how chaotic our first like couple of tests, but people liked us, people
Mhm.
wanted us back. And so we just kept growing and kept showing up,
It
kept
takes
growing.
taking that first step
Yeah,
into the uncomfortable, but then it always works out.
it
It
does.
always works out.
It does.
Yeah.
And to not be, I think fear, and this is in the outwitting the devil, fear is a fear of the unknown, the what if I fail?
Yeah.
The problem is not enough people are asking, well, what
What
if
if
you
I do?
don't?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
if I
What if
don't?
I succeed?
Right. What if I
Yeah.
succeed?
Yeah.
Because we know failure's there.
Mhm.
But to me, I feel like in my life, I've never regretted when I've stepped up to
Me neither.
anything, any opportunity and failed. I've never regretted when I've stepped up and failed.
Yeah.
I've only regretted when I never took any action at all. That's the stuff that wakes me
Yeah.
up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, I always tell people, like, what you resist, persist. Do
Right.
the stuff that scares you the most because that's where the doors open, where the magic is. Yeah.
Except I don't really want to go swimming with sharks. I want to
Well, you
skydive.
also have to be smart too, like,
I want to
and set intentions,
I want to
but
wait till I'm about good 97, 98. Then I'll go skydiving and swimming with
oh,
sharks.
man, I love skydiving. I've been, like, 7 times.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I don't bounce so good, so, like,
Oh, okay.
so if that chute doesn't open up, I
Oh,
don't
man.
yeah. So, I know you noticed you had a list of questions. I know we
Uh,
covered a lot.
yeah, I'm trying to think, what is in Kava?
What
Like
is in Kava?
yeah.
Good question. A lot of crack and heroin. No, I'm just kidding. No,
I mean, a couple things or
just one route. It's
one route,
just
okay,
one route, and
okay.
then water, and
Mhm.
then here's the thing, and we always have to kinda warn our, customers, like, "Hey, it's gonna have the earthy flavor,
Yeah,
right?
oh, yeah.
Because you're drinking a
Yeah.
concentrated root, so
Mhm.
you gotta get ready for that. Once you get past that initial, like, some people really don't care for it,
Yeah,
so Joni, my wife, my love, has,
flavors now.
developed she's a flavor person, so
Mhm.
she figured out, "Well, what about chai tea?" And mixing it
Cacao.
cacao, and then
Mhm.
coconut cream is another one. And now we're looking to maybe expand a couple more flavors, and
Mhm.
then, we're really thinking about doing, flights of or not thinking, we do flights of 3. So we do a 4-ounce, flight of 3, and then we do an 8-ounce flight of 3.
Awesome.
So once you've dialed in your flavors and
Yeah,
what you like, then you kinda know what to do.
yeah,
And then you get yeah, and the concentration of the kava lactones, which is the active ingredient inside of kava,
okay.
which is what gives you kind of the euphoric effect
Mhm.
and all of the positive benefits. Um, that is I forget where I was going with that.
Oh gosh, this happens a lot when we record.
It's okay.
Where were we going with that? What
What
was in it?
yeah, what was in
The
it?
root, and then adding
Uh,
the flavors.
adding the flavors. So like the kava lactones activate, but like you kinda almost like a fibrous thing on your tongue there, and so it kind of it really does when you have the cacao or when you have the coconut cream, it really softens the
Oh,
blow.
yeah, they're all good, and honestly, it's like anything else, though. Anything that's really good for you or healthy doesn't normally taste really good. Think about mushroom tea and all like, it's just yeah, a lot of it tastes like dirt, but kava doesn't. I honestly like it. I
Yeah,
think it's really good.
yeah, I do too. And the great thing is there's no age limit. So if
Yeah.
anybody, it would be like bringing your kid into a coffee house, right?
Yep.
To eat. Oh, speaking of which, I kind of have this. I talked to Joni about this last night, just running this idea. You're a coffee person, right?
I did coffee for 16 years.
So
Mhm.
I'm thinking about making Kavi ice
Oh,
in the
yeah.
summertime as a summertime kind of,
Yeah.
like a one on like your
Oh,
June,
we're gonna
July,
get so
August.
creative with all this, bringing in
Right,
all the different things.
like an iced
Mhm.
coffee that a blended drink
Yep.
that'll cool you off, right? And then you can have your whatever your flavors are, so you can have some coffee in there,
I'm
and you
already
can
looking forward to this since I'm planning on not drinking for 2024 summertime, but I wanna feel good
yeah.
and yeah,
So
definitely.
then this because we live or our location is right by the shipyards,
Mhm.
one of the main entrances to the shipyard and where the parking garage is. We wanna set it up so people that don't wanna drink and are not they want
Yeah,
a grab and go. So they can hit us on our app, we can have their whatever their
that's
thing
so
is, or if they
awesome.
wanna come in, so then it'll just
Yeah.
be really quick, so it'll already be waiting for them before they even
This is gonna be a huge hit. I mean, just from the last 2 that we've served it, people are loving it. Just
Mhm,
people don't know about it. They don't
mhm.
know what it is, and yeah, we've been having a lot of people ask, so that's why we decided to do a podcast episode and get all the info out there.
Right, and we were on Outlaw Radio, which is Kitsap
Okay.
community's local radio station, right before we did our first event with
Oh,
you on
okay.
December 5th.
Uh-huh.
We had about 2.5 weeks out, we had that, so we were kind of prepping for that, doing the
Mhm.
whole thing, and, of course, it was Krampus at the time.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Also, going into the later part of the year we're doing some charitable events inside for work that we're gonna be trying to use this parking lot, we're gonna try and partner with United Way, just so you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
And we're gonna have kinda Kavacado right
Heck
there
yeah.
as a feature. So there's
Yeah,
some stuff that's gonna be coming our
definitely.
way that we'll definitely be talking about before, come
We've
near the
got so
time.
many ideas, so many things that I'm not even gonna say want to, that we are gonna bring forward.
Mhm.
Yeah. So one question, what changes have you noticed in your family since you quit drinking and started drinking kava?
Uh, okay. Since I started drinking kava and stopped drinking alcohol
Yeah.
or okay. So let's just take the beginning. So I stopped drinking the day of Christmas, that was it, of 2023. I drank with my family. We were celebrating. We had a great time. The 26th, no more alcohol. And so
Okay.
I didn't even make this a New Year's resolution. I just
Mhm.
stopped drinking. And so I noticed number one, being more present, just not
Mhm.
drinking alcohol, but kava allows you to be relaxed and present,
Mhm.
and things that would normally like get you or whatever
Mhm.
don't necessarily like elevate your
Yeah.
temperature, so to speak. We have 3 kids in our house. One's an adult. She works. She's not a kid anymore. Ariana, my daughter, and then my son's 11. My oldest son is 11, and I have a 3-year-old son.
Mhm.
And so, 3-year-olds kind of tend to, need
Oh, yeah.
attention or be crazy or just be 3. And so that can be frustrating
Mhm.
after a frustrating day and all these excuses that we always have to not be present.
Yeah.
Kava invites you to be present. You want to be present.
Mhm.
The other thing that I have to say that I've noticed, right? So I have a tracker. I did the I Am Sober app.
Oh, okay.
So for me, this is day 31 of no alcohol. I've saved, I want to say 25,600 extra calories that I haven't drank,
Wow. Good job.
right?
Yeah.
Saves over $660 that I would have
Yeah.
spent. That's just a baseline marker because if
Mhm.
you just go to the store and you pick up a 6 pack or something, that's 10 bucks,
Yeah.
12 bucks, right?
Yeah.
You got a shot of Jim Beam in there. Eventually you got to replace the bottle. That's another 20 bucks. So I
Mhm.
just figured 20 bucks a day because I'm
Yeah.
drinking about a 6 pack a day, right?
Yeah.
Couple of shots, a shot of beer,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, it's up quick.
It
But this
does.
isn't the I mean, you said that you do this quite often, right? You
I do
go
it every day. So
or no, I meant like, where you're not drinking. So you go through don't drink for a month and then you drink again or like
actually, I made the same commitment to myself that you did,
2024?
2024.
Yeah. Yep,
So,
I'm doing it. I'm not
and,
drinking.
and it's just because of after listening to Outwitting the Devil and then just seeing, I want to be a higher version of myself. I want
Yep.
to be the better version of myself. And I can't do it when
No.
I'm
What's
loose.
the longest you've gone without drinking?
Man, I used to go months at a time.
Okay.
Alcohol wasn't really my thing,
Yeah.
just because it always made me feel bad the next day. I've always been a workout person. And
Yep.
so, like, whatever. But then life kind of
Mm.
directs you. You got a bunch of friends that all go to the bar, so you go to the bar. And
Yep.
then you have a bunch
But
of
that's
friends.
what changes. It's like when you start changing who you hang around
Mhm.
with and you are around other people who are just as dedicated to their health and fitness. And yeah, so 2 years ago, or maybe a year and a half ago, I went 6 months sober without
Mm.
drinking. So I did a half a year. So now this year, I'm going a full year. And
Good
hopefully
for
by
you.
then, yeah, I just want it same,
I,
raise my vibration, be the best version of myself.
amen to that.
Yeah.
And this is the coolest thing I've heard in a long time. Alcohol and drugs, let's just say addiction, are the easiest and hardest things to beat. And they go, and the reason is it's easy because you can make a commitment. It's hard because you have to do it one day at a time.
Yeah.
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 So it's every day, it's a new
You're thinking
journey,
about it.
right?
And
Like it's,
yeah.
but so it has to be done one day at a time. You can't be, I can't predict next year. I
Yep.
could just focus on today.
Yeah.
So I have this thing called Kava. And so cost difference for those that are curious, right? That may
Mm-hmm.
be drinking because we all live on a budget. The cost difference, we factored in where I was spending $20 a day. It now costs me about $35 a week,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
So the savings is significant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here's the other thing. So I have, again, this tracker that I have, and I figured if I'm buzzed, if I get home from work at my average time, and then I'm buzzed for say 3 hours a night. So I'm not
Mm-hmm.
present with people. I'm away, right? So that's
Yeah.
3 hours that I'm not present. So that connection, or excuse me, connected. So I've saved 96 hours since
Wow.
I decided to be sober.
Wow.
96 hours is 4 days,
Yeah.
4 24-hour periods, right? That I'm back with my family, that I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking about my business, we're
Mm-hmm.
working on permits, we're doing podcasts,
Yep.
we're productive.
Yep.
I'm not making excuses. Oh, I had a rough day, man. I
I'm
just need to go.
hungover.
I'm hung. If I was
Ugh. Just
hungover,
thinking about that. Like,
right? If I
ugh.
was hungover, I would never have wanted to come into that. I
Oh
would
yeah.
just be dreading going through the day, and they'd make some excuse why I couldn't be here, and
Yep.
then I wouldn't be able to target an audience. So then you have to ask yourself, well, how much do you like your alcohol more than you like your
Right.
business?
That's what it comes down
See what I'm
to.
saying?
Yeah.
So now I'm making choices about,
Yeah.
no, I want my
Yep.
businesses to succeed. That's it. Like
Yeah.
it is a do or die for us.
Yep. Me too. I'm just like so driven and I'll do anything to become a better version of myself
Amen to
every
that.
day. Yeah.
One day at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
day at a time. It can be beaten, but it has to be done one day at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel to myself, if I made it a year and I'm this much better, why would I want to go back?
Oh, right. Yeah, there's no way.
Right? And I
Yeah.
know I'm not again, I guess this really did turn into an anti-alcohol thing, but
It's
okay,
all
whatever.
related though. It's
Right.
all health. That's what Mystic Movement is all about. We started out as a holistic healing center and then brought in estheticians, and it's all self-care,
Massage
health, wellness,
therapy.
massage,
Yeah.
all of it. Like it's just
Reiki healer.
yeah, we
Yeah.
have pretty much everything
Tarot
here.
reader, and she's damn good.
Oh my gosh, she is really
She is
good.
really good.
Yes.
Shout out to Alex, man.
Yeah,
Alex has
empathic
that.
Alex.
Yeah, she is
She
awesome.
does it all. Tarot, media, and our second episode, we went over everything she does, and she will actually be recording another podcast episode with me this weekend. We're going to do spirituality and religion. So
That's
that's gonna,
awesome.
yeah, I'm excited for that
You
one.
know, the yeah, okay. You just touched on something.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of research and I call it religiosity and spirit, but the whole thing about alcohol, right? So you're talking about going a year, and we would ask ourselves, like, okay, after that year, are you going to do it? You maybe go out to the bar. Well, I've been sober for you. Start
Yeah.
making those excuses. This is the most powerful quote I've heard in a long time. It
Okay.
said, don't put yourself back into the place that you prayed your way out of.
Mm. And that's so good. And isn't it kind of funny how that's the one question people always ask? Instead of just like, hell yeah, I keep going. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, you're going to drink again after, But say that one more time.
Don't put yourself back into the very place you prayed your way out of. So talking about
Amen.
yes. So talking
Yeah.
about spirituality, we all have a higher power or, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Typically we lift that up if you're in the process of recovery and you lift it up to your higher power. So you ask your higher power, hey, please, pretty please with sugar on top. I can't handle this by myself. Let's get rid
Yeah.
of it, right?
Yeah.
So your higher power answers your prayer.
Yes.
You go through the process, all the hard part, you get, and then you see all the success that you have, and then somehow, some way, that devil
Yep.
outwits us, right? Because the
Yeah.
devil's out there doing steroids, push-ups in the parking lot. You know, I really do believe this, that we have to set boundaries as people that are sober and people that are spiritually well and people that have a mission. You have to set real boundaries and then you
Mhm.
have to guard them ferociously.
Yeah.
Because in those boundaries, everybody's looking for an opening
Yeah.
that they can drag you back down.
Totally.
So people see you elevating to a level and they want to pull you down into wherever they're at instead of seeing like, man, these people are lifting. Oh, what can I do to get to that level? And maybe
Mhm.
asking you because there's obviously something about what you're doing that is they're seeing and they're aware of, and either they're really jealous of it and want to tear you down or whatever the case may be, because that's human
Yeah.
nature. Oh,
Yeah.
they just
Oh,
think they're better than us.
yep.
Who do they think they are? Well, Elon Musk, right?
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, some of the most successful people in the world. They were probably called a lot of things on their path to success, but I don't think they were spending a lot of time in
But
bars
who
with
were these people? Think about that, saying that to them or
because we'll
of
never
them.
know them.
Yeah, exactly.
We just know
Yeah.
who the Jeff Bezos are and
Yeah,
the Bill
right?
Gates, right?
Yeah,
Like these
exactly.
hyper successful people. So we're always going to have haters. And I think haters, the more haters you have is a gauge of your success.
Mhm.
Because if you were doing the devil's work, he'd leave you alone.
Yep.
But if you're doing what you're on a path to do, that's when you're going to get attacked. And I hear this all the time. Like every level, there's another devil,
Mhm.
right? So as you elevate in your levels, that devil comes along to try and
Yep.
pull you back. And those enticing things like drugs or alcohol or whatever somebody's, I would say, drug of choice is, it just that reptile mindset really does start to dive in
Yeah.
and bite and try and pull you back.
I always tell people the universe always tests you too. You can be so close to reaching that goal, and the universe is going to throw something at you to see how bad do you want it.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
but I've said this in so many episodes too. Obstacles are opportunities. When negative things come my way or hard things come my way, I look at them as getting excited about it. How can I get through this instead of playing the victim? Like, why is this happening to me? This is
Absolutely.
happening for me and not to me. So,
Yeah. And that's a hell of a way of looking at it. I don't know where our language barriers are for
oh
the
no,
podcast. Okay.
all of it.
So I think that's a hell of a way to look at it. It's again, it's like anything in life. You're not going to get buff until you start lifting the weights and eating
hmm
right and whatever. You're not going to be happy until you really do the work,
Yeah.
whatever that work is. Now, your version of happiness might not be the same as mine,
Yeah.
might not be the
hmm
same as
hmm
other people here, but whatever your version is, that's
Yeah.
what makes you happy. Go
Yeah.
for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so that's kind of what Kavacado, I think, in a nutshell, as a company is. We're about community, we're about giving back, we're about helping, we're about connecting, and we're about healing
Yeah.
and being a safe place for people.
Absolutely. And that's something we are very passionate about things that have changed our lives. I want to tell everybody and share that
Mhm.
with people because how much my life has changed for the better.
Right.
Yeah.
And what's great about Mystic Movement, I have to say, is it's such an encouraging environment. You have facilitated such a great place for people to come, feel
Thank you.
comfortable. I'm very proud of this.
Thank you. My baby.
It is, and it's a great baby. It's growing into a young toddler now.
Yeah, I know.
That's running around and doing crazy stuff
Right?
and like, getting into everything.
Yeah.
It's like
And we're only on, we just hit 4 years. There's still so many things that are going to come forward for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be getting a little stuffy. I don't know what it is. I
Yeah.
think it's just a long day, but
Yeah.
um I think we're on the pinnacle point. It's like the
hmm
rocket ship is on the launching pad and it's on a countdown right now.
Especially when you start, collaborating and doing this and all the other things that I'm not going to mention yet because we've got some more magic coming soon too. But yeah, surrounding yourself around like minded people, and we all have a similar dream that we can combine it all.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're all about community and helping people. And yeah, we got big plans. It's going to be pretty amazing. Any offers that we want to
Hmm.
leave with people?
So this will be the first
Next
Friday of
Friday,
of
we'll be have.
February.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should do like a Valentine's Day thing. Maybe you should bring a date. if you bring your date, your Valentine,
Oh,
be my
I like
Valentine.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
To the Kavacado next Friday.
To Kavacado next Friday. We're gonna be doing our tacos.
Okay.
So
If you bring a date,
if you bring a date, a
and it can
taco
be
and a
a
cava.
girl date, a guy date,
Yeah,
just
just your
bring a
significant
date.
other. Bring a date.
Okay.
Bring a significant other. Bring somebody you love. I
Yeah,
don't even
there
care.
we
Let's
go.
celebrate love.
Okay. Love that.
So it can even be your best friend, your animal. I don't care. Bring your whoever, and we will offer. Let me talk this by the boss,
Okay.
but I think we can offer. I want to say if we're gonna do a flight of 3, we can do $1 off of each one.
Okay.
So that would be a $3 discount for the flight of 3. And if you're gonna buy a plate of tacos, we would normally charge $6. We'll charge if you bring a date.
Okay.
Oh man, I want to do this. We'll charge $4.50 for 2,
Okay.
and we'll do $6 for 3 if you bring a date. But you got to bring a date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So
No, that sounds great. And we'll do a Instagram post about this episode with all the information. And if anything changes or we add to it, we'll post that on the
right.
Instagram. So
And so you just come in and say, "Here's my date." We'll
Mhm.
have the discounts already posted for you, so you can see. So we verify.
Perfect.
So you got to bring a significant other. It does. It could be a bro date. It could be a girl date. It could be. I don't give. Just bring somebody. Bring somebody
Yeah.
and share a good moment with them,
No,
because
I
that's
love
what
that.
Kava. Bring someone along.
And that is next Friday. Is that the 2nd, right?
That's a second.
Yeah. So February
When did
2nd. It's already
January go?
February. I know. That is
Jeez.
so crazy.
It's
Oh my
like
goodness.
my mom always says this. She says, "Life is like a roll of toilet paper. The closer you get to the end, the faster it goes."
Oh my gosh. That's so true though.
I've never
Oh
been
my
able to. Yeah,
goodness.
she always says that. It's funny.
Oh, that's good. Well, thank you so much, Derek, for coming on. And any last things you want to leave with everybody or?
I just think that make your choices, going forward about you being happy, focusing
Mm,
on happiness, spirit, whatever you want to do. I mean, the opportunity is out there, and find a group or a support community that can help you do it like we did, right?
yeah.
Like Mystic Movement has been such a wonderful opportunity for us to connect and then find ourselves and then
Hmm.
grow with like-minded people.
Yeah. Find your
And
tribe.
we would, yes, find your tribe. You say that
Hmm.
all the time, and I
Yeah.
love it, right? Like, because we have found our tribe, and now our tribe is moving together hunting.
Hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We know where the herd is. We're going after it, right? We're hunting.
Yeah.
And so find your tribe and find Kavacado and give us a try. And then become part of the Mystic Movement family,
Yeah.
become part of the Kavacado family. Everything that you do
We're
with
one
us,
big family here.
correct. Everything
Yeah.
you do with us, by the way, goes back into the community. We do
Hmm.
donations all the time to homeless shelters.
Yep.
We just raised money for Lahaina for the fire victims. We did 2 events that helped support that. We're looking to always find new charities and new
Hmm.
community things. If you guys in the audience have a charity that you would like us to support,
Thank you. Yes. That was
yes,
something I wanted to.
yeah,
Yeah.
something that we can connect with, give us, throw it in the comments or reach
Hmm.
out to us or come down and see us and talk to us about it, because we're looking to always expand and help our
That is
community.
something, yes, thank you for saying that because I want to have it to where it's like all year round too for certain ones also where people can drop stuff off, whether it's food drive, clothes,
Correct.
stuffed animal, anything like that. So,
Anything, again, we're looking to elevate into the blessing business,
hmm,
not just being the money business.
no,
Right.
that's
I
not
want
what
to be a
Mystic's
blessing.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to be a blessing. You
Yeah.
are a blessing,
Yeah.
right? So I want to elevate that. So if we take our ideas when they're really small, but they're making an impact, imagine what we can do when
I
they become
know.
big and we become big, and the impact on the world that we can make.
Hmm. Yeah, that's so true. And the one thing that nobody can ever take away from you is your choices. That is the
Correct.
one thing. And we all have them. So, yeah, choose to show up for yourself, choose to show up for the people you care about and your community.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Tosh, for having
Thank
me
you.
on.
That was so much fun. And we will definitely be doing more episodes, hopefully.
Yes, I would love to.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we will see you all soon.